the nation's capital as the Ottawa Senators and the Montreal Canadiens get set to clash right here on TSN Hockey. Montreal looking to tighten things up in their lineup as preseason winds down, and a lot of new faces, a lot of new names in the Ottawa Senator jersey, looking to impress their fans at home as we welcome you inside TSN Hockey. Hello, everyone. I'm Tessa Bonham. That is my D partner, Dave Poulin. That is my D partner, Frankie Corrado. I've got a lot of D partners. Joe Pounder was on the panel with me the other day, so don't get confused. This is the first of 4 meetings between these two teams. Montreal, quite frankly, still looking for their first preseason win. They might get it in one of these 4. Who's to know? Maybe not. These teams meeting 4 times to close out the preseason. The first 2 will be here on TSN. You can catch those. Then they head out east to Newfoundland and New Brunswick to finish off the preseason. Let's take a look at the lineup that the Montreal Canadiens will be putting on the ice. The Ottawa Senators, excuse me. Jake Sanderson. Some pretty good hockey pedigree, if I must say so myself. With more on him, let's head to the gentlemen who will call tonight's game, Brian Mudryk and Mike Johnson.
Mike, Jake Sanderson, 26 points in 23 games last year, NCAA in North Dakota, and Ottawa fans are very excited to see the defenseman taken 5th overall in the 2020 draft.
And they should be. He's an exceptional, talented player. But not only that, he's very important for Ottawa this year. How he plays, if he can develop that top 4 role, is going to be big on their team's success. And look, what is he good at? What are we going to look for? Well, one, starts with his skating. Much like his dad, he's a great skater, getting up and down the ice. Vision, moving pucks around, the kind of defense you want to play with. Fearless, not afraid to make a play, not afraid to be aggressive, and confident with the puck because he knows he's good at it. When he brings those attributes to the game, he can be a difference maker even early on in his NHL career, and he needs to be one for the Ottawa Senators to be successful this year. So we'll watch him closely, as will the Sens, because they want to make sure he's ready to go to start the season.
Paired up with Travis Hamonic tonight, we can't wait.
Thank you, gents. We'll definitely keep an eye. Here's the projected lineup for the Montreal Canadiens. Everybody was waiting to see when he would be back in the lineup. Jonathan Drouin on that top line with Owen Beck and Mike Hoffman. Cayden Primo will be between the pipes for the Montreal Canadiens. Now, Frankie, the last time Jonathan Drouin geared up was on March 21st. Only played 34 games last season. What are you expecting to see from him, not only in the preseason, but this season in general?
Well, first of all, for Jonathan Drouin, new number, who dis, right? Number 27. And I like it. I like the move. If you're going to talk about a fresh start, turning the page, and we've talked about that a little while now for Jonathan Drouin. He's missed a lot of time with injuries. And, you know, I like the fact that he's going to go with this fresh start. But listen, he's at a crossroads. He's got 1 more year left on his deal at $5.5 million until he's an unrestricted free agent. And he needs to perform. He needs to stay healthy. He needs to find a way to perform. And listen, with Montreal, all that external pressure of the team needing to do well, that's gone now. The only pressure is internally for him. And so for him, he needs to handle that. He needs to stay healthy. But, you know, he has Marty St. Louis now, and maybe he can extract the best out of Jonathan Drouin.
Well, the number matches the age. It's hard to believe he's only 27 years old. It seems like he's been around forever.
Yeah.
And watching him play with Nathan MacKinnon when he was in Halifax, you didn't know who was running the show, but
Dominant.
I have no idea what they're going to get. I don't think they have any idea what they're going to get.
Hopefully Jonathan Drouin does. Jake Allen.
I hope he does.
Yeah, Jake Allen today signed a 2-year, $7.7 million contract. What does that mean for him and the Montreal Canadiens, Billy?
The quote says it all. I want to be a part of this process. I really do. He has chosen now to re-sign twice with Montreal. He came in a very different role. He was going to be the ultimate 1A backup for Carey Price. Well, that hasn't turned out, and he's had to be the guy. And, you know, you look at the pressure on him as the guy going through it. It's a great signing for them. He wants to be there. He's a leader in the locker room. He's an established vet.
And he's won a Stanley Cup, so he knows what it takes to win, and that's a pretty big voice in a locker room that's got a lot of young talent coming up as well. All right, we'll continue to get you set for tonight's matchup between the Montreal Canadiens and the Ottawa Senators right here on TSN Hockey. Puck drop coming up after this. Goaltenders for this evening's matchup. Cayden Primo thought he almost had the win with the Habs against the Jets, but 2 late goals proved to be costly. Mads Søgaard in net for the Sens. All right, let's get inside. Let's get back to the nation's capital with Brian Mudryk and Mike Johnson for the start of this one.
Tessa, Saturday night, Canadian Tire Center, October 1st. The regular season right around the corner as the Montreal Canadiens and Ottawa Senators will get to know each other in the preseason, seeing each other in the next 4. And Claude Giroux, what a big pickup for Ottawa, signing a 3-year deal.
The key is, though, Muddy, is that he didn't come to Ottawa just to play in a city where he's very familiar with, or retire or anything like that. He came because he thinks this team can be good and he can help them take that next step or steps that they need to take to become more competitive. Quietly intense guy, make no mistake about it. And I think that kind of demanding presence will be good for the team.
As he's on a line with Brassard and DeBrincat for tonight's game on the ice for Ottawa, Joseph Mott, Pinto, Armia, Evans, Pitlick up front. And we are underway on this Saturday night as Jake Evans backcourt in his own zone. He'll chip the backhand for Pitlick. Evans and Pitlick, a lot of mutual respect when they played against each other in the NCAA. Caden Primo getting his start, his first start of the preseason, came in relief a couple times for Jake Allen, who just signed that nice extension, 2-year deal, a big part of the leadership going forward for Montreal. As that's chipped up to Matthew Joseph, hit by Armia at center ice. Pinto trying to make a move, he gets stood up right at the line. As that was the former Ottawa Senator Weidman, Mike Matheson rather, number 8. As ought to be fired in by Ottawa as Sanderson out there for the first time. Jake Sanderson here on home ice in Ottawa at the Canadian Tire Center. As we talked about Mike off the top, a lot of excitement for the young man on the blue line. Owen Beck starts it up ice. He'll try to chip it in, have the puck taken away as Beck, the CHL Scholastic Player of the Year. He's had a nice camp for Montreal thus far, and he plays into the backhand and takes the bump right in front of you. Look out.
Get those elbows up early down here, Brian.
Great to be back, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Center ice for you, and good to be back working with you, my friend.
Absolutely. Long summer. Happy to get back up and running, much like the players. And fun to be doing these two teams. Lots of optimism around both of them that this year will be better than last.
Here's Jordan Harris for Montreal. Assessing options, he'll work it to the right side, dumped in as Philip Meshar was in a step offside. And there's a new trigger man in town here, Mike, and his name is Alex DeBrincat.
And guess what? He's getting the offensive zone start right away. Right back out. DJ Smith says, I got offensive guys. Now, DeBrincat's known to shoot pucks, not necessarily hit bodies, as he clears me and my buddy Mark Denis out of the way with his hit. And faceoff's actually going to be outside the blue line, not off an icing, but off a 2-line pass, so those guys will not go on the ice. But DeBrincat's a fascinating trade. One of the best goal scorers in the league since he's arrived. And to think that Giroux and Stützle could do with him as a first or second line, whatever you want to call him, it's a combination. If it works, it could be glorious for Ottawa.
So Lassie Thompson in the lineup tonight. He's paired up with Hetherington as the third pairing. The former first-round pick of the Ottawa Senators, part of that youth movement. As Philip Meshar cutting in, the first-round pick for Montreal, trying to cruise in, have the puck knocked off his stick.
Tell you what, he dances with the puck, doesn't he? He's not afraid to try guys one-on-one. Meshar is a great skater.
Leskinen tried to work it up ice out of the reach of Ylonen, and that is icing charge to Montreal.
Score national pride in your pocket with the 50th Anniversary Summit Series commemorative circulation coin from the Royal Canadian Mint.
Had a chance to catch up with my former teammate, Marty St. Louis, before the game, and he understands it's a process that it's hard for his group to take in everything he's trying to teach and apply it perfectly in a game. So he's got patience with maybe some of the results or some of the plays they're making here in preseason. Knowing that it's going to take a little bit to get everybody on the same page.
Montreal coming in numbers, trying to generate their first win as Harvey Pinard throws it across. And a penalty coming up to Ottawa as Harvey Pinard using his speed to try and get something going in the offensive zone.
That is a fast rush by Montreal, drawing the penalty on the hook. As Yaraventi heading to the box.
Ottawa 52, 2 minutes for hooking.
Yaraventi just gets caught on the wrong side of the check, but it's talking about Meshar through the middle. This is where the speed happens. Through the middle, drive the defensive back. He gets Zaitsev to pivot and turn and chase him down the middle, which allows his little seam pass and the backdoor opportunity, all set up by Meshar's powerful mid-lane drive with the puck.
So Montreal, a couple of power play goals in the preseason. Caulfield, Gallagher getting on the board as the Habs 0-3 in preseason action coming into this game, trying to get some positive momentum going.
You can see Jonathan Drouin out here. Maybe a nice time to grab a shift. Power play, little time, little space to make some plays.
As Frankie mentioned, off the top, new number in his final year with his deal with Montreal. And there's a turnover right at the line as Ottawa looking to strike shorthanded, and a good burst into the forehand as Tyler Motte, he's so dangerous shorthanded, he draws a penalty as Motte has fit in very nicely in Ottawa thus far.
Well, he brings so much energy, understands who he is as a player and what his skills are. And he's a great skater. And you have to be to put Matheson in trouble. But it's all about leverage. Watch how Motte gets underneath the checking of Matheson. He goes low, and Matheson loses body position because he gets up onto the back of Motte, turns the corner, and draws the penalty. So the power play short-lived, just 29 seconds before Motte draws one and evens it up.
Had a lot of comparisons to former Hab Andrew Shaw, former Blackhawk as well, when he was coming up, and Motte looking to settle in and be a valuable player this year for Ottawa. As Caden Gooley on the penalty kill. Nice little pop pass off the boards for Jake Evans as Montreal able to clear. Caden Gooley, former first rounder of Montreal. He was the MVP in the Western League playoffs for Edmonton. He's had a nice camp as well thus far for Montreal. Jake Evans, the chip and chase. Mads Søgaard out to play it. Up the right side, here comes Alex DeBrincat, a couple of 41-goal seasons in Chicago. As the Habs break out, 2-on-2 the other way, and just a step offside and some frustration. That was a pretty good look cutting in by Rem Pitlick.
And you mentioned the goal-scoring prowess of DeBrincat in Chicago. A lot of these highlights will have number 88 passing him the puck. There was such a special bit of chemistry between Kane and DeBrincat that Ottawa is hoping that he can find with Giroux or Stützle and induce him to want to stay here for a long stretch. He's got a couple more years before he's going to be an unrestricted free agent, so Ottawa will see what they have in him, and we will see what the city has to offer.
Good burst here from Brandstrom. He'll bring it in. As 4-on-4 hockey for 35 more seconds. Brandstrom on the puck at center ice. He'll settle down to Zaitsev. That pass off a skate into Montreal territory. Ridley Gregg in pursuit as Richard picks it up for Montreal. Harris up the left side, looking for Mitchell Stevens. He couldn't collect. And Matthew Joseph takes contact, but he works it in deep. Drew gets spun around. Good job by Harris, able to chip into center ice. As Jarventi ready to come out. And now it is Ottawa on the power play for 25 seconds. Nice move there from Yoel Armia. He'll skate it to center ice for Pezzetta up the left wing. It bounces a little too far. And that'll be frozen by Mads Søgaard.
Oh, Mads Søgaard gets the call in net tonight for Ottawa, and both these teams probably have more players on their roster still than they would ideally have. Coaches at this point want to get down to around 30-ish players in camp, but they know they have so many games all against each other that they need the bodies for the trip out east. They have 2 games, 3 and 4 to end their preseason run, so they need to have 40-plus guys around, which is not ideal for the coaching staff.
Other half of the Sens roster playing in Belleville last night. Obviously fresh faces on the ice for this contest, and you're right, slowly teams will start to wind down the rosters and get closer to opening night as Montreal will open up versus Toronto and Ottawa versus Buffalo. Pezzetta tried to chip it free, and that's poked right in front of the Ottawa Senators bench. As Beck back to play it for Michael Pezzetta. He'll slash it in with a backhand right to Søgaard. Who is big, Mike? You're down their ice level. I mean, he is a big boy in net.
I want him to see Dylan Hetherington have a stare down because both are gigantic. Doesn't see a lot of net. When he gets down on his knees, his shoulders are well above the crossbar.
Here's Mike Matheson. He turns it over right behind the net. A good pickoff by Reinhart. He goes to work in the corner. He'll dish it off. Sokolov to the far boards. That shot got through. And a good save off Dylan Hetherington. As Hetherington will go back and pick it up. Won a couple of gold medals for Canada at the U18s and World Juniors, both with Connor McDavid on his squad. And that's into the Habs bench.
And one of the guys hard to miss, Michael Bezzetta. He's got the stash, he's got the hair at the back of the helmet, and he's got a unique warm-up. He was beside me before the game, and he's doing some visualization. He's kind of stick handling and running through the motions of passing pucks and shooting pucks, and he did this for a couple of minutes. Some pretty intense visualization for a guy before heading out for his preseason game. He's got to know he's got to come to play every time he steps on the ice if he wants to stay in the NHL.
And that's what he talked about, Mike, at camp. He kind of has skill sets that make him different from the other forwards, and he has to be himself every night to try stay in the NHL. He helped last year at a career high in games for Montreal, and trying to stay here, that's the key.
Different sort of lineup for Montreal, though. If the bodies are healthy, they have a lot of forwards that are pretty good on pretty good contracts that will need to be in the NHL, so you're gonna have to battle.
Sten's able to dish it out. Bradstrom fakes the shot, shoots, and through the maze of bodies, Primo the save. As Bradstrom signing a one-year deal with Ottawa. In comes Joseph, space, Wade still with it. And he got spun off the puck as Caden Gooley took his space away. Play to center ice, looking for Mitchell Stevens. Stevens and Joseph, former teammates in Tampa Bay, where they won a Stanley Cup together. Touched by Harvey Pinard. Still chased after the puck. There's Sanderson protecting the puck. Kicks it to his stick, and nice subtle move there to flip the puck and gets it to center ice. Sands coming in numbers as Greg sends it across. Sabrin puts on the brakes, collects, zips it back to the point. Sanderson shoots and just wide. Hamonic goes in deep now for Ottawa. Sanderson far corner. Spins away from traffic on the puck. And then he gave it away as Harvey Pinard helping out. And he's backed up by Otto Leskinen. Leskinen drives play into the corner. Able to free up the pass. Into the slot. Matheson shoots. Bouncing rebound. Evans swinging a miss. And it comes to Sogard. As a good burst from this line. As we await our first goal on this Saturday night at Canadian Tire Center.
Storylines today for the Montreal Canadiens involves a player who didn't make the trip to Ottawa, and that's Jake Allen. The goalie signed a 2-year contract worth $7.7 million, and Allen was blunt this morning, saying he's never going to fill Carey Price's shoes, and says he's not even going to try to be somebody else. He just wants to be me. But Marty St. Louis had this beautiful quote to describe Allen's approach to the next few years. The head coach says, "We need guys that are willing to plant trees, knowing they'll never sit in the shade," and Jake is that.
Interesting. You know,
I didn't know Marty was a poet. That's beautiful stuff.
And bang on. I mean, Jake Allen, he's been that guy. There's been some tough times around Montreal, and of course the future of Carey Price. And Allen's been a quiet leader, a leader on the ice with his play, and that's big news for Montreal.
You're never going to be successful as a goaltender for the Montreal Canadiens if you feel the need to hide. If you can't handle the spotlight or the sun.
Here's Hamonic on the puck, wrist shot, and that hit a body and then hit Primo, who made the stop. Joseph in the corner. He gets hit by Justin Barron. Back up top, Thompson, wrist shot. Didn't get through, blocked by Mike Matheson. He'll send it down the ice. Rem Pitlick up the left side, waits for help as both teams changing. Pitlick 1-on-2, and he'll jam it in. There's Hetherington. In his own zone, he'll stretch ice. Up for DeBrincat. Little burst up the right side. DeBrincat. Watched by Gooley. DeBrincat protects the puck and works it around. Giroux. Thompson. Band on the shot. As Montreal collects, but give it away to Giroux or DeBrincat. Try to get it back to Brassard in front. Giroux back to work. As he's watched by Weidman. Weidman on the forecheck. Giroux doing a good job here. As the veteran continues to protect, zips it up top. Brandstrom walks the line, sends it back. That drive, no screen, no problem. Into the glove of Caden Primo.
And Claude Giroux working hard down low on the cycle, trying to get puck possession, trying to find some time and space, and he finally does shed. Weidman gets it back to the point. And one thing Claude Giroux does like to do, bit of an old school guy here, he's getting a bit older, He loves the slap shot one-timer. Not as many guys do that, but he leans on that one-timer. You'll see him on the power play when he gets over there. He can do it as well. Getting it down to the front of the net.
Reinhardt, nice job as he works the puck back to the far point. That blast didn't get through the traffic, and here is Pezzetta in transition. Michael Pezzetta will chip in chase. Zaitsev into the corner. He'll chip for Brandstrom. Approaching the midway point of this first period as Kastelik will send it in with a backhand, and he goes to work. Kastelik bumped by Otto Leskinen. Laid off the near boards. Yolonen takes a shot from behind as Zaitsev teed him up. Harvey Pinar, who led the Laval team in scoring last year. Such a spark plug when he's up here getting looks in the NHL, and especially down in Laval for the Rocket. Zaitsev will settle it down. Shot 6-2 right now in favor of the Ottawa Senators as we await our first goal. Stretch pass up intended for Ridley Gregg as Gregg protects in front of the Habs bench, and he'll throw it in. Roby Jorventy, part of the fray below the goal line, able to take a free pop pass in front, and couldn't tee up Gregg as he whiffed on the shot. And that high drive from the blue line handled by Caden Primo. The first of 4 meetings going forward here in the preseason between Montreal and Ottawa.
With the world moving.
3-year-old Mark Kastelik, who had 2 goals, 4 points in 16 games last season with the Senators. One of them versus the Montreal Canadiens. Physical guy too, Mikey, 6'4", got in a fight with Michael Pezzetta. He was born in Phoenix, Arizona, when his father Ed, who played 220 National Hockey League games, had some time in the IHL, and now it's Mark's turn here.
I remember that one because he scored and then fought right after he scored while celebrating. It was like, hang on, am I up here to be physical or score goals? Do both in one moment.
Coach's dream, right? Is that
so? Never forget who you are, right?
There's Mike Matheson. Little shoulder check. He'll collect a buck in his own zone. Tries to get it to Pitlick. Bouncing around, and Barron will move it up ice, and he takes contact, gets the puck back. And as Barron jams it off the far boards, picked up at center ice. As Mott will play back in his own zone. Sanderson stretching the ice. That one intended for Shane Pinto. He got knocked down, and Gooley's starting to be physical in his own zone. Jake Evans in the corner. Pinto watching him. A drive from the far boards again, handled by Primo.
Part of training camp is finding combinations that work. In Ottawa, I think they have their third line here of Pinto and Joseph and Mott as the group that will likely be the third line and likely play together. So there've been a lot of run in practice and in games. And especially when you're going to be a checking line, you want to have that chemistry develop because communication and understanding what the tendencies of your teammates are so important in your task of defense.
Brassard, some good work trying to steal to get it with Giroux. As Brassard, since 2018, Mike, 8 NHL teams. And of course, spent some time here with Ottawa as well. As that pass in front, oh, what a stop, and maybe off the bar. As out of nowhere, Montreal looking to strike and get the first goal in this hockey game.
That guy, Beck, who's made an impression so far in camp.
The break it. Off the turnover, sends it across. Giroux spins around, hits the trailer. Good hesitation and then a pocket picked as Montreal able to get back and take that away from Pinto. In comes Franchen, tries to flip it in. Brandstrom back on it. Brandstrom circling around, still on the puck. Brandstrom, what a move, still on it, backhand try. Wow. Brandstrom lighting things up here, Mike.
Put on his dancing shoes tonight.
Habs coming numbers again. That shot stopped, rebound, and a good rip from Jordan Harris, who nearly cashed, but a good stop. Matt Sogard, some chances now here in this first period.
This is how we like preseason games to look. Back and forth.
Man, Brandstrom, couple of beautiful moves, did everything but score. As Sogard will settle it down. 7 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this first period. There's Sanderson. He'll send it the length of the ice for Cole Reinhardt. Reinhardt works it in. Sokolov out to play, but Primo got there first. Sokolov below the goal line with Reinhardt. He'll dish it down low. Kastelik in a puck battle with Matheson. Harvey Pinard able to flip it up, and Richard takes a look. Good pop pass, and the Habs able to clear. Here's Matheson at center ice. And just a few steps offside were the forwards as Matheson and his team charged.
Chances back and forth, as you mentioned. First one goes to Owen Beck. Good look by Drouin to the back door. Beck gets his stick on it. It's between his legs, so he goes back against the grain, rings it off the post, and then there's Bobby Orr. Brandstrom just going for a skate. How about the confidence up here by the blue line? I'm not passing. I'm not deferring. I'm just going to keep walking, guys, until I get in on top of the net. Nice individual effort there.
There's Barron. He'll jam it in. Lassie Thompson gave it away right to Matheson. Mike Matheson assessing options, puts on the brakes. Well, Armia, big drive, and that was blocked. He gets it back. Barrett circles around. Barrett up top, and another block. Ridley dragged 2 big blocks, and the crowd likes that. We'll give him a round of applause, and he'll hobble off to have a seat.
He's hobbling off, but still has enough energy left to cross-check Yoel Armia, just because.
He's going right down the tunnel, Mike, so we'll keep an eye on
the first one stung him. The second one, not so bad, but the first one, that one hurt.
There's Giroux, Matheson. Matheson got it to Pitlick. As Bastard reaching for it, can't get the puck, and a good drive again. Armia trying to break in, couldn't get the shot away. Yoel Armia continues to grind. He'll work it across. 6 minutes remaining in this first period. Pitlick wanted Owen back, couldn't feed him. And here's Giroux. Turned over at center ice. Owen back for Mike Hoffman, the former Ottawa Senator. He'll dish back. Back, walking in, shot. A good stop, Sogard. As Hoffman, parts of 7 seasons with the Ottawa Senators. That 2009 draft, Weidman went in the 4th round, and Hoffman next round in the 5th. As both in the lineup tonight. Matthew Joseph back on defense. He'll finish his check. Hamonic over to Sanderson. Father Jeff was a great player in the National Hockey League. Great wheels. Jeff had, and his son, no doubt as well, as Mott right on, and Primo will hold. As Sanderson making his debut here at the Canadian Tire Center as we await our first goal.
Ridley Gregg still not back on the bench after not 1 but 2 blocks. That first one really took a bite out of his ankle, but when you're hurt, you can't move. Get to the middle of the ice and stand still. Unfortunately, he's got to block another one, and just he's so frustrated that he's in pain on the way to the bench. Yeah, gives Armia a little shot for his trouble, and then heads down to the dressing. Hopefully, he'll be back sooner than later, as everyone in Ottawa is excited to see what he can do at this level. He was fantastic at the World Juniors this summer, and they're expecting big things out of him in this organization. Back on the bench as well. Muddy just walked back out.
Teammates with Cole Reinhardt in Brandon in the Western League as well. They're both in the lineup tonight as Ylonen had his pocket picked. Matthew Joseph takes a look, and he'll hammer it in. Jordan Harris trying to protect the puck and free it. Neshar back to Harris. Otto Leskinen up the left side to center ice. Lassie Thompson gave it away to Pezzetta, tries to chip it, and right to Kastelik. As Kastelik one-handed, he'll flip it in deep. Reinhardt giving chase. Kastelik there to help. Leskinen, he can't clear as the Sens. Good work to get some Ozo time going. Kastelik swats it for Sokolov. Reinhardt into the corner as he gets hit by Justin Barrett. Barrett avoids the check and able to work at far boards. And Montreal able to clear as Harvey Pinard on the move, can't get there in time. Under 4 minutes remaining in this first period. Shots 10-4 in favor of Ottawa. There is Anthony Richard towards the net, and Harvey Pinard, the reach, had a pretty good look, as this line actually has had some pretty good looks for Montreal thus far. Harvey Pinard, Stevens, and Richard.
Pinard had a swing at that one right in front of Sogard.
Jarventi, good little push as Roby Jarventi into the corner. Back up top, Zaitsev towards the net. Hit a body, went wide. Brandstrom on it. Armia hits him. Back up top, Zaitsev, swing and a miss, and Rem Pitlick, look out. A 2-on-0 with Evans. Pitlick, Evans shoots, scores! Beautiful transition play. Jake Evans up top. 1-0 Montreal.
A nice finish by Jake Evans on a 2-on-0 as the puck pops past Zaitsev, and Owen Beck is on the rush, but he takes a peek before he gets it and understands he's got Jake Evans, tries to freeze Sogard with a little move to his backhand and then gets it over. But watch Owen Beck right here. Okay, I got a guy, so I don't need to take this as a breakaway. I'm looking to pass the entire time. And I'll tell you what, Zaitsev won't be happy with that as he missed the puck at the blue line, but pretty good finish by Evans as well, because Sogard understands the pass is coming too. You still have to elevate it, and he did.
So Jake Evans, lovely finish. Montreal strikes first, 1-0 over Ottawa. Back up top is Sanderson, a rocket, and high over Caden Primo. Here's Caden Goulet as he'll sling it across. Off it, the backhand feed. Looking for Beck, he'll chop it in. Sanderson will play it quickly. Move to center ice. And back forward is Harris. Leskinen up the left side for Montreal. He takes contact and he'll work it in. Picked up by Joseph. Up ahead for Pinto. And the race is on, and they will charge icing to Ottawa.
So, Money, it takes a certain kind of awareness to have a breakaway, but before you grab the breakaway, you check to see if you have options. And that's what Owen Beck does right here. I got options. And so he sets up, or Pitlick, I'm sorry, not Beck, Pitlick. And he sets up the pass to Evans right on the tape. Well, that's good awareness by Pitlick. Not just to be so excited to breakaway, but look for the next best option, and it was put Evans on a tee.
You know, we talked to both last season, Mike. They battled hard against each other in NCAA. They were excited to actually get to play together on the same team. A lot of mutual respect. As that drive from Lassie Thompson off a body and wide. Put in front, and the bouncing puck. And again, it's Shane Pinto, who's at a strong camp for Ottawa. Couldn't cash, but a pretty good look. Pinto was just stung by injuries last year. Of course, got hurt versus San Jose. Remember, Mike went to take a face-off.
Right.
Re-injured it when he's playing the Penguins. So really nice to see number 57 back and healthy. As Matheson using his speed, shoots, rebound available, but Sogard finds it, and he'll squeeze.
There you see Matheson, tremendous skater on the rush. Dancing Zaitsev, and this is why it's so important to have a good gap, meaning you're moving up so that you're skating backwards at the same pace. Zaitsev gets caught basically standing still and mid-pivot. That is no way to play defense against a good skater. You got to get up, match the speed, and skate backwards with him, which Zaitsev certainly could do. You got to get in position before you take the rush.
Anthony Richard on the puck for Montreal. He'll dish into the corner. Mitchell Stevens tries to battle. Harvey Pinard there with Kastelik. Freed up, and Zaitsev gets it to Brandstrom. Long stretch pass, looking for Sokolov as Igor Sokolov looking to break in.
You see Sokolov, big body, and these guys understand what they need to do to try to make an impression. There are some spots available, and it's, as a player trying to make a team, you're always doing math in your head. Who's playing where, what spots are available, what do the contracts look like, and they know in Ottawa that there is, you know, a spot or two up front that is still available. And we know DJ likes physical players. Someone they can trust. Sokolov maybe trying to latch on to something like that.
Matheson to steal, the high flip in front, bouncing, rebound, score! Taking advantage of the hop in front, Jake Evans has a pair in the period, and it's 2-0.
Nifty little finish by Jake Evans for his second of the period. And if you're going to try to play a jump ball, you got to be sure you're going to catch it. Here's Kastelik. I got it. I don't. And it goes over him off Evans' body, pops right down to the backhand, and he finishes. But you would usually pivot and box out here, but you're trying to play the puck that you miss. You're calling a fair catch, and you fumble it. Kastelik lets Evans get in alone behind him.
So 2-0 Montreal in this first period on the road as DeBrincat will bring it in. Evans swatted it away. Try to get it to Matheson through his legs, but Montreal able to control. Armia will dump it in for the Habs. Pitlick in pursuit. Weird bounce again in front, and Evans looking for another nice bounce. Why not a hat trick in the first period? There's that skating ability again of Mike Matheson. He'll play some big minutes with Jeff Petrie obviously being moved to Pittsburgh.
His first game of preseason, Matheson was like 25 minutes. Marty St. Louis said, well, playing that well, he makes it look that easy. You feel like you can keep putting him out there.
And still waiting for Joel Edmondson to get healthy as well. So Matheson will be a big part of the equation this year on the back end for Montreal. Just a few seconds remaining in this period. As the Montreal Canadiens, pretty good start on the road. 2 goals from that guy, Jake Evans. As Evans had 13 goals, career high last season in 72 games. Intermission coming up. Let's throw it now to Tessa Venon.
Thank you, Brian. Yes, when we come back, we'll have first period analysis with Dave Poulin and Frankie Curado. We're also going to take a quick peek at the first set of players on our top 50 list. You can discuss, as will we. From London with the special international showdown between the Vikings and Saints. Coverage continues with a full slate of matches all afternoon and into Sunday night football. Catch Justin Jefferson and Marshawn Lattimore as they face off overseas Sunday at 9:30 Eastern, 10:30 Atlantic on TSN and CTV. Jake Evans. He had a pretty good first 20 minutes. He's standing by with Claire Hanna.
Jake Evans, 2 goals already just in that first period. Just tell me what was clicking for you and your line mates.
You know what? I got 2 great line mates. They're both very smart players and very skilled. And I'd like to think, though, those were 2 pretty lucky bounces there to get those goals, but I'll take them anyway.
Tell me what your approach is in this preseason, just as you guys are trying to find chemistry.
Yeah, it's just kind of, I guess, understanding the team's new concepts that Marty's trying to get in and just build some chemistry with whoever you're playing with, and just trying to get on the same page so we can start the year on the right track.
What are some of those new concepts?
I can't ruin all the secrets. No, just playing smart, playing free, and you know, there's a lot of little things that you could look into, but it's giving the guys a lot more freedom.
Thanks, Jake.
Thank you.
As we welcome you in studio, Tessa, Dave, and Frankie. I like it. Not going to give up any of the secrets, Claire.
No.
Stop digging. Goodness.
Notre Dame kids don't tell secrets.
Nonetheless, Montreal Canadiens lead 2-0 through the first period of play, thanks to, obviously, Jake Evans. Pooley, what was working well for him on those 2 goals?
It's easy to forget the guys that are kind of in between. So these are bottom 6 players. Rem Pitlick came over on waivers from Minnesota Wild last year. 26 points in 46 games. Jake Evans really established himself, career high 13 goals. But they've got to play a significant role for Montreal. Everybody looks at the top end and then the new kids. But these are the guys in between. They're going to play valuable roles. Great finish by Evans on this one. Bad Zaitsev turnover. Rem Pitlick speed, and then he deceives, holds, throws it over to Evans, who puts it away. And then just a fortuitous bounce on the second one with Evans, being in the right place at the right time, goes up, takes it down. Hey, you get bounces that go the other way, you take ones that come for you. He pulls it off his chest and puts it in.
Exactly, and you know what? He's a really good 4th liner. He's one of those guys where the puck doesn't die on his stick, right? I think that's more than what you can ask for from a lot of 4th liners, chip and chase, bang bodies. But when you get that kind of offensive contribution from a guy lower in your lineup, it's going to help Montreal because they're not going to have the high-end skill that a team like the Leafs or Tampa Bay or Florida is going to have. So the more contribution you get from guys like that, the better it's going to be.
He's your 4th line center. You're in good shape.
Absolutely. by the looks of it, absolutely. Let's talk about Jonathan Drouin. Frankie, we talked about him off the top. What did you see or didn't you see in that first period?
A little bit of both, right? I think he's trying to get his footing here, and we talked about how it's a fresh start for Jonathan Drouin, and things haven't gone the way he's wanted. He's had 2 wrist surgeries. He missed a big chunk of time with mental health issues, and we're going to see a little bit of the bad here in the turnover at the blue line, and this is the kind of stuff that Jonathan Drouin needs to get out of his game. But we're going to see the good here, the dynamic playmaking ability that he does have. He's a guy who has always been a playmaker and a dynamic guy, so he's got to get to more of that kind of ability and less of the turnovers at the blue line, because hey, the body of work, the numbers indicate that he can't be doing that more often than the good stuff.
Absolutely.
And Erik Brannstrom, a little bit of flash there. He comes over in the Mark Stone deal. That was the prize, one of 3 first-round picks for Vegas, all of which have been traded. Nick Suzuki for Cody Glass and Erik Brannstrom. And this is what they thought they were getting. It hasn't quite worked out, but right here, he looks all world. I think MJ even threw a Bobby Orr name in there, but this is what they thought they were getting. It hasn't turned out. He has to be a flashy, dynamic player in order to be effective, has to be up ice like this. This is the wheeling and dealing you're going here is just tremendous. He's in a fight for a job right now in Ottawa. He's got to play like this more often.
Well, I was going to say, he's in a fight for a spot. Yeah, but man, is he going, he's swinging. He's throwing everything that he can. Well, what do you have to lose, right? You put everything on the table, you empty the tank, and hopefully it works out for you. All right, when we come back, we're going to have highlights from around the league. We'll take a look at some other games that are taking place. And as promised, we'll also take a look at the first set of players released in our TSN Top 50. Afternoon of MLS Decision Day matchup. CF Montreal takes to the field against Miami as they look to clinch a spot in the MLS playoffs. Catch CFM in action at 2 Eastern, 3 Atlantic, right here on TSN. All right, Panthers taking on the Hurricanes. First period, one of the newest Hurricanes, Brent Burns, puts the puck on net, gets a pass to screen Spencer Knight. That put the Canes up early. Then in the third period, Burns picks up the puck off the boards and banks it in off the Panthers defenseman. 2-goal game for the new Canes D-man. He finished with 10 last season as a Shark, looking to improve on that this season. Hurricanes win this one 4-3. Pens and Sabres second period. Tage Thompson jumps on the loose puck, puts it under the bar for his first of the preseason, right? Not too bad. He's coming off a 38-goal campaign. Sabres take it 3-1. Flyers, Bruins, third period, Bruins all over the Flyers net. Mark McLaughlin bangs in his second of the game. He had 3 in 11 games last season. Still in the third, 2019 first-round pick John Beecher redirects the puck in. His first of 2 goals in the game. Bruins take this one 4-0. Here's a look at some of the games that are that are happening this evening. Blue Jackets and Capitals tied at 1 apiece. The Caps out shooting the Blue Jackets though 14-6 in that game. Oilers Jets will be facing off, as well as Red Wings, Blackhawks, Stars, Blues, Canucks, and Kraken. And all of these odds are provided by FanDuel.
Our TSN hockey panel spent the last couple of weeks voting on the top 50 NHLers.
Chris Kreider is having a career year. Night after night, he is outstanding.
Calder goes to Moritz Seider.
Down the road, he may win some Norris trophies. A terrific two-way defenseman.
Getting Alex to break out is a big piece for the Ottawa Senators. They need a guy who can score goals.
In front, Gensel right there, and it's in, score! Gensel finds a way!
One of the most incredible goals I've ever seen.
I love these because all they do is spark discussion.
Oh, yeah.
And they get people heated. Here's your top 50, first batch of players, 50 through 41. Alex DeBrincat, as you can see right there at number 47, which quite honestly, what an honor to be in the top 50. I'd be stoked if I was in the NHL and I was one of the top 50 players. But for the Ottawa Senators, what does this mean for them, having Alex DeBrincat in the top 50 and in their lineup?
The trade of a 24-year-old who's in the top 50, who has 160 goals already in his career, caught everybody by surprise. I mean, that sort of catapulted Ottawa's summer in such a positive direction. This kid is a pure goal scorer. He scored a ton of goals in junior. Everybody said, well, his first year he played with Connor McDavid. He can't do it at the NHL level. The Hawks get him in the second round. He hasn't stopped scoring since he came into the league. I think it's a great pickup. Now, final year of a deal. He's still got 2 years to unrestricted free agency, so he'd be a restricted free agent with arb rights. Yep. And there's a big a match there, like a big qualifying offer, because it's $9 million in his final year. I think it's a great pickup for Ottawa. Terrific pickup.
And the thing is, like, he had Patrick Kane in Chicago. I think we're going to have to see
David Jr. and Patrick Kane in Chicago.
Yeah, not bad. And now he's going to have, he might have Tim Stützle, who's going to be, you know, we're looking for the Tim Stützle coming out party, right? To really earn that contract. Josh Norris is an option. He's going to have Claude Giroux. Like, he's still going to have really good players around him. So there's a really good chance that he's going to be putting big goals on the board while playing for the Ottawa Senators.
I was just going to say, do you think there is a player that can play with him? Is Stützle and Josh going to be enough to help provide, I guess, that offensive flair to help him get as many goals and be as productive as he has been?
Oh, I think there's lots there. I mean, you may see Claude Giroux on the other wing.
Right.
You know, you may see that. You may see Stützle in the middle. Nice options up front for Ottawa in terms of their top six. They can go a lot of different ways.
And he might just shut us right up and just score goals at will. Who needs help? All right, I can do it on my own. All right, stick around. When we come back, we will continue to set you up for the second period. Muddy and MJ will get you ready.
And welcome back to Ottawa on this Saturday night. There you see the shots, 10-8 in favor of the Senators, but it's Montreal on the board leading 2-0, and that is 2 goals from Jake Evans for the Montreal Canadiens. Brian Mudryk, Mike Johnson with you. My favorite part of the intermission was Claire Hanna trying to steal secrets from Jake Evans. Obviously, he's got to go with the 2 goals, but what did you see out of the Ottawa Senators and their D in that first 20?
Well, I think Ottawa's trying to get to a point where their D are more aggressive all over the ice. And you want to be skating, you want to get up the ice, which means supporting the rush, joining the attack when you can, because they have a whole bunch of guys playing tonight and in their lineup that can do this really pretty well, and it does add so much to your attack. And when they go to defend, they want to have the gap up, be aggressive, stand up early, don't give up the blue line, don't concede space. And when it works, Brian, it can really snuff out the other team's opportunities. But when it doesn't, there's not a lot of layers in behind. And a couple times there were breakdowns where guys might have got beat trying to be aggressive and give up a pretty good chance in on Matt Stogard. And that's the balancing act that DJ Smith is trying to work with his defensemen. Be aggressive, but you got to be smart, and your forwards need to be there in support, so if something does go wrong, it's not going to result in a great chance against.
So for Jake Evans, multi-goal game thus far. His last time he scored a pair was January 27 versus Anaheim, his only multi-goal game. So he's got a pair in this preseason. Good to get the good vibes going in a field, even though it's preseason play, as Pinto, the give and go, tries to get the pass back from Mott. And there is Evans on the puck for Montreal. Joseph, good hand-eye, knocks it down. Matthew Joseph. Using his speed, watched by Armia, who pokes it all the way down into Senator territory.
We know preseason goals don't mean much, but if you're Jake Evans, I mean, all of a sudden there's a lot of centermen on Montreal Canadiens. He's got to fight to make sure that he can play in the middle. Maybe the fourth line he's playing with tonight might be his wingers in the season. He's got to earn his ice time back if there's more bodies around this year.
Derek Brassard in the corner for Ottawa. Out there with DeBrincat, who's on the puck. Backdoor pass and a good stop. Good push across. As the top line, DeBrincat, Giroux, and Brassard trying to create some offense here in the second.
And a high rotation, and Travis Hamonic, we just talked about the defense being active and aggressive, and that's what Hamonic does. Not known for his offense, but he sees DeBrincat rolling around, says, I'm out of here, and Jonathan Drouin gets caught napping, completely loses his man. That is his defenseman. He gets caught puck watching. Hamonic with a good chance back door.
Off the draw to Caden Gooley. Tries to trip it out. Brassard, though, takes it away. Here's Brassard. Backhand in front. Quick draw just wide. And there's that release from DeBrincat. And he just missed short side.
I've seen more in this first shift of the second period than we saw in the entire first period from this line offensively. A couple great looks. And DeBrincat doesn't usually miss those. That's the one he finds the back of the net.
There's Sanderson as Beck pins him. Sanderson able to work it free. Sent up for Giroux. Wait, slings it across, and a good diving play to break that up. as that was the body of Jordan Harris. Kastelik watching things over the Montreal zone, trying to get his stick on the puck. Flip to the right side for Pezzetta. Pezzetta, Meshar shoots, and that was blocked as the first rounder of Montreal trying to continue an impressive training camp for the Habs. Back up top. Harris towards the net, floated it in, and that was picked off, and Sokolov will chip it along the boards. There's Reinhart. He'll drive into the corner. Played to Hetherington. He'll work it back in for Ottawa. Reinhart and Sokolov working down low. As Ylonen trying to help out. Harris finds the puck and gets it to Pezzetta. Jesse Ylonen works into the backhand, and he takes a spill. Pezzetta finishes his check. Good to see Ridley Gregg out there as he blocked a couple in that first period, a few stingers, and he's back on the ice and working hard again. In comes Brandstrom. What a move that he pulled in that first period, showing off a little electricity. Tries to cut it again, and he just lost the puck as that was Roby Jarventi trying to help him out. There's Sabourin. And that was Jarventi. He got hauled down below the goal line. Play continues. Mitchell Stevens aggressively trying to get that puck free. Jarventi. Back up top. Sanderson, wrister. Jarventi tried that little tip in front. Couldn't get it on. Caden Primo. And a 2-on-2 the other way as the Habs skated up ice. Harvey Pinard puts on the brakes, looking for Richard. Evans picks it up far boards. Evans back up top. Mike Matheson. He'll take it in deeper. The Habs off the boards to the near point. Richard. Anthony Richard. He'll play it back, but nobody there as Richard, just a couple games of NHL experience, played in Milwaukee and Syracuse in the AHL the last 2 seasons, and the Quebec native excited to come back home and try to compete here and maybe a spot in Laval. High pass, that was Tyler Mott streaking in, trying to knock it down. Freed up and played to center ice as Rem Pitlick battling for position, had it taken away, courtesy Dylan Hetherington. Matthew Joseph finds the puck, he'll free it. Sent up the right side. Out of the reach of Mott. As Lassie Thompson in deep pursuing the puck. Pinto's turn on the forecheck. Caden Gooley calmly collects and he sends it to his partner. Rem Pitlick reaching for it. There's Jordan Harris. He goes to his D-man partner for tonight's game, Gooley, and he'll fire it in. Brandstrom fanned on it, though recovered and able to take out his man, Jonathan Drouin. Spinning pass off the boards. Claude Giroux diving, tries to backhand it to break it. And that didn't work out as Brassard continues to work. Jams it into the slot, but no Senators there. Jordan Harris right in front of Mike Johnson will fire it in to Sogard.
It's like when I played, I bailed on the play and got out of the way.
There's Brassard. Brandstrom sends coming numbers. Brandstrom across, trying to hit up the trailer and couldn't click with Brassard. Senators still in control. Pass up top. A wrist shot and glove side just wide to break it. He's loading up now in the second period, Mike.
It's just a matter of time, though. When he gets chances, he will get goals. That's a good sign, him finding some open ice.
There's Pezzetta. Fluttering shot towards the net off a stick and wide. Zaitsev collects. As Sanderson leaves, Sokolov right in front of the Habs bench. Kastelik there as well, as is Sanderson. It's freed up. And here's Cole Reinhart. Battle at the blue line. Pezzetta finds the puck, and he'll shoot it in. In comes Jesse Ylonen. Puck in front of the bench, and Ylonen back to work on Zaitsev. I always joke, you played with Yulonen's dad, Mike. Now you're starting to play with the guys coaching in the NHL. As Harvey Pinard.
That was just this guy stepping off the bench was offside.
That close to a pretty good look. As the Montreal Canadiens enjoying a 2-0 lead.
With a couple excellent looks in his last shift. that he would expect to find a way to get to the back of the net, and one of the two, as that is right in his wheelhouse. It's preseason, won't beat ourselves up too much, but just know that a couple more looks like that, he'll find a way to get one past the goalie.
Mike actually scored his first NHL goal versus Carey Price back in 2017, and a lot more since then, and a lot more to come, I'm sure, in the nation's capital.
One of the top goal scorers in the league the last few seasons. And just goes about it quietly. Understands how to move around the offensive zone, get open, and get that shot off.
Get a lot of praise too, Mike, for Kirby Dach, who's not in the lineup for Montreal, but the big center that the Habs acquired at the draft as well. A lot of talented young faces in new places around the NHL.
I'm not saying he's wrong, but generally speaking, guys are nice to their ex-teammates, so I don't know how much stock we're going to put in DeBrincat, the pro scout, in the future, but got the A on the jersey. It's always a nice feeling. And since joining the league, here he is, top 10 in goals, top 30 in points, and he rang off 3 straight 50-goal seasons with Erie. And yes, he played with Connor, but he also played not with Connor McDavid, and he still was able to score. And here Dorion, Ryan Bowness, watching things, made the big move to get him this summer, and I think it's going to be great. Offense is such a premium. He does it as well as anybody in the league.
Leskinen tries to clear, can't. Spinning drive, a rebound in front. Reaching for it was Joseph, trying to jam it by Cayden Primo. As Primo not spectacular, but he has been solid, and right now that's all Montreal needs. Trying to get their first win, some confidence, as we've got a souvenir here at Canadian Tire Center.
Yeah, and I think Primo needs that as well, right? Like he needs to have some good games. He thought he was going to get a win against Winnipeg, got away from him at the end, but makes a nice save against Matthew Joseph, trying to find the rebound. But it appears, though, it's going to be Jake Allen and Montembeault to be the duo to start the year for Montreal. But Cayden Primo wants to establish that he can be good against these shooters. He's been good against everybody else, everywhere else in his career, just not yet at the NHL level.
Recently signed an extension with Montreal as well. Of course, the big news in Montreal, Jake Allen signing his 2-year extension today. Here's Rem Pitlick, far boards, watched by Shane Pinto. Pass in front, Joseph couldn't pull the trigger. Evans got in his way, and now Jake Evans again. A little bit of space. Joseph took it away.
Too quick.
Put himself offside, but a good recovery from Matthew Joseph.
Well, when you're the one who kind of gets taken off you for the chance against, a little extra pep in your step to get back, and Matthew Joseph, 3 quick strides, able to get Jake Evans' stick. He's frustrated about the missed chance that led to the turnover. And he would see just about anyone in this game and say, I can track them down if I have to. Trust his speed that much.
Now, Joseph, one of those guys, a lot of guys locked up. You saw Pierre Dorion and all the work they've done. Obviously, Stützle, Joseph, Norris, Giroux, a 3-year deal. And then a couple years ago, Batherson, Tkachuk. And before that, so DeBrincat shoots, scores! There's a new gun in town, and Alex DeBrincat finds the back of the net. It's 2-1.
You could sense it coming, and Alex DeBrincat wheels and fires, slings a wrister past Cayden Primo. Nice job keeping the puck alive with the pinch, and then quick hands, dropping it down and getting it off quickly. And don't underestimate Derek Brassard right in front of Cayden Primo. Won't get an assist, but he will get credit for bothering the goaltending, allowing DeBrincat to get past Cayden Primo for the first of the night.
DeBrincat again off a turnover. Good chance in front. Puck in the skates of Brassard. Dishes it out. Brandstrom works it back in. So Ottawa looking for more here in the second period. 8 minutes got in the second. DeBrincat sniping on home ice, making a 1-goal game. Another drive off a body from Zaitsev. High and wide. Drew battling for the puck. Spins away from Beck, up top for Brandstrom. He'll dish it off. DeBrincat again. Another wrist shot that time. Primo sees it, and he'll get the glove on it.
That time DeBrincat was looking for Giroux's stick on the flyby, but there's just been a little bit more aggression, a little more intensity to the offensive zone play for Ottawa. And DeBrincat wheels And that shot's not really to score. He's trying to drop it onto the blade of Giroux and almost connect for the tip in front. It's all smiles now. Goal scorers like scoring goals.
Another face-off win for Ottawa. High drive Hetherington just missing. Grab try in front as Mark Kastelik trying to get on the offense. Leskinen can't clear. He continues to battle. Pezzetta there to help out. Ottawa with the puck. Another high wrister, and this time the youngster, former first rounder, Lassie Thompson, into the glove of Primo.
Ottawa has really tilted the ice the last 3, 4, 5 minutes. And they're winning a whole bunch of board battles. It's not fancy play. It's not rush chances. DJ Smith's group is putting their work boots on, winning puck battles and beating guys to the front of the net. And if you do that consistently enough, eventually you'll get good looks. It might take a while, but eventually you will break down the defensive zone coverage and get quality chances for you.
Thompson and Jarventi both in the lineup, both from the same town. Back home in Finland.
We saw them have a little chat together.
There is Richard versus speed backhand try as Anthony Richard, the 25-year-old, trying to make an impact.
A little dash from Richard. Turn in the corner. Scrum face-off. This is straight line speed. Jake Sanderson gets him on the pivot. Sanderson keeps him on the outside, and at that point, you're trusting your goaltender to make that save 100 out of 100 times.
Stevens, Pinto, and Pinto able to win the draw. Ottawa controls. That pass stretched up through the legs of Tyler Mott, and icing charge to Ottawa.
Jake Sanderson, so much attention on him and so expectations so high, and he's just kind of grow into his time here on the Ottawa Senators. He knows there's a role for him. He knows his skill set is needed on this team. Just get comfortable with what works. What kind of game do you need to play to be successful within the system? As the talent is undeniable.
Off the drop, Pitlick. He'll leave. Putting on the brakes and looking for space is Leskinen. Leskinen behind the net, still with it. Pitlick picks it up to the far point. That drive and a deflection just wide off the shot from Harris. Armia, the steal, as Sanderson couldn't clear that time. Pitlick, he'll drop it off. Puck bouncing around, and this time stolen. Tyler Mott, speed, he's in. Mott, forehand, good stop, Primo. As Tyler Mott broke away, and Primo answered the call.
Tyler Mott just lurking around the defensive blue line, searching for a loose puck, and he jumps on this one, and he is off to the races. He knows it right away. He's in alone. He's not going to get caught. Tries to power it through the 5-hole. Primo with a nice job, good stick discipline, patience to turn it aside. And Mott will be a guy with his speed. You will see him generate a lot of good chances.
Mike, he had 2 goals for the Rangers in 15 playoff games when New York made that deep run in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Time with the Canucks, and of course traded to the Rangers, that 4th-round pick, and now here in Ottawa. As Brandstrom again making moves. Brandstrom, set up in front, shot and stopped. Brandstrom has been creating in this game.
Best player on the ice, both teams. Brandstrom by him. He's been fantastic, Brian, in this game.
Brassard just couldn't finish, but Brandstrom has been all over it, as mentioned, Mike. He's on it again. Brandstrom is looking for Brassard to break it, nearly picked it off, and a little bit of space opening up for Hoffman. Pocket pick by Brandstrom as he got back defensively. Wow, Brandstrom, 14 assists last season. It's making it look smooth on the ice here in Ottawa.
His best foot forward in this game. This is as well as I have ever seen Brandstrom play. His best asset are his legs, and skating is the foundation of everything he does, but he needs confidence to use those legs to get to the right spots, and he has done it from the puck drop to the second period. He has been dynamic, aggressive, making nice plays and good reads with pucks all over the ice. Everything you want to see out of Erik Brandstrom, he has put on display in this game. The challenge is to bottle it and give you something like this every night, because he has been fantastic.
Mike, first time I saw him was the under-18 Slovakia 2016. He nearly led that tournament in scoring as a defenseman. And he was dynamic then, and he's starting to show those signs and that confidence here at the NHL level, which is why Ottawa was so high on him when he came over in the deal for Mark Stone. Here's Jonathan Drouin. Right side for Wideman. Wideman will jam it in. In comes Zaitsev. Contact over the goal line. Beck's there, as is Hoffman. Beck keeps the play alive. Drouin tries to give and go. Drouin on it, shoots up top, and that's handled. They had a little something going there, a little chemistry, as Drouin got a pretty good look there on Sogard.
Yeah, we're watching Jonathan Drouin's first game in a long time. Relatively quiet out here, but maybe finding some open ice as Zaitsev breaks his stick. So now you have one guy down there without one, and nice little pass from Beck out front to Jonathan Drouin. Tries to go short side on Sogard. And it'll take a while. When it's been 6 months, 7 months since you've played a game, it's going to take a little while to kind of get up to speed and get the timing back.
Drouin in the final year of his deal with the Montreal Canadiens.
He just wants to get healthy.
Pezzetta shoots. Jansen front. Matheson follows up. Couldn't get the shot through. Yeah, he's had a tough couple of years, Mike. Injuries, mental health, and you know, good on him as he's been very vocal about it and getting the help, and obviously a very popular guy and someone you root for. You want to see 27 have a great season here.
Yeah, you want to see him enjoy himself, be healthy, come to the rink, have fun, and play well. And you know, he has had a nice contract when he was traded up into Montreal, and probably hasn't delivered maybe value for that for a variety of reasons, but when you make $5.5 million, production is expected, and expected by him as well. He wants to do it himself.
Justin Barron just holds it in for Harvey Pinard. In the corner, looking for Stevens, out of his reach. Richard picks it up, tried that centering pass. Pinard up top, that wrister blocked. Barron back to work. Barron walks the line, he'll drop it back, just out of the reach of Matheson, and he'll chip it along the boards. And a tough pass, and that's down the ice, and Caden Primo's got to venture out to play the puck, as Reinhart was looking for an opportunity. Long stretch pass, ice available. Stevens backhand try, and he ran out of real estate, throws it on it anyways as Sogard the big reach. And Mitchell Stevens couldn't convert. Tyler Mott the other way. Drives play wide, helped by Joseph. Joseph, Pinto one-time drive block. Pinto again with it. Round the net, Pinto looking for options. It's Sanderson, slings it across. That drive Hamonic off a stick and wide as Stevens got in the way. Good chances at both ends as Ottawa a little push back. Pinto the body check. Mott and him go to work. As Shane Pinto taken down. Pinto was the top 3 finalist for the Hobey Baker the year that Cole Caulfield won it. Sokolov in pursuit of the puck. It's up to Pitlick though, and Evans up for Rem Pitlick. Curls around, wanted to get it back to Evans, and that was broken up. Nice job by Sanderson. Up the ice quickly. Feathering pass right in front, and Sokolov couldn't get there in time. And a penalty coming up.
On the transition, gonna be a little slash on the back check. A quick up from Sanderson. Started a quick counterattack. And good effort. Harris to get back in time. Here's the other chance earlier. Stevens gets Sogard to bite on the fake, but when you're 6'6", even when you're strung out, you can get something, and it's just the poke check as the puck is going by. Sogard sweeps it to the corner, then he picks it out of the air on the next play as well. Amazing stuff there. Stevens was shaking his head, missing that one. And I think he thought the penalty would go up against Montreal. It's actually Yaraventi in the box. Montreal head to the power play.
Mitchell Stevens, 72 career NHL games with Tampa and Detroit. We mentioned his cup. So the Montreal Canadiens a chance to work the power play. Owen Beck, good clean win, and the Habs able to control. Let's get in for Hoffman. Leskinen. A pass eluding Hoffman. Beck goes to work. We saw Beck win that draw, Mike. He was a 60% guy in the OHL. Very smart junior player.
I like Marty St. Louis says, he's supposed to be good at defense. Let's find out how good he is playing with Hoffman and Drouin. So, be responsible, got to be smart. We have offensive guys like that.
Yeah, he's had some great opportunities to get some looks with some top quality players at Habs camp and in this preseason.
They just don't give those away, though. He's earned those opportunities by playing well.
Puck battle, Zaitsev digs it free. Takes a look, and he'll throw it down the ice. Minute 10 remaining in the minor penalty. You have to think, too, though, Mike, after this game, you'll start to see what looks closer to NHL rosters for both sides.
Yeah, there is the issue of all these games remaining to be played, including a couple out east, but the coaches want to get it down to 30, 32. You want to have one group on the ice, not two. You want games with your top 6 playing all at once. That's not happening right now. Look at these guys.
Jesse Ylonen dishes into the corner for Pitlick. Ylonen. He's to the line. Justin Barron, that's off the stick. High off the glass, stays in play. And Barron's got it again. Barron. Philip Meshar. All the way to the far boards, Ylonen. Barron loads up. Good block in front.
Ridley Greig again.
He's 3 for 3 in blocks, man. He has paid the price, and his teammates got to love that as Meshar's on the puck.
A beating out there. He's got no stick. Got one leg.
Tyler Mott trying to help out. Habs control. Pitlick slings it across. You can see Greig without a stick. Pitlick scores from an E. One-time shot right at the end of the power play, and the Habs are up 3-1.
Montreal taking advantage. You recognize you have a guy out there without a stick who's hobbled, can't move properly. You put the puck right through him because Ridley Greig back to the dressing room again, and he's frustrated. Here's the first block. That one might have caught his hand. We'll take another close look at that, but if that caught his hand, that's not good because you don't have a lot of padding. And so where do you go? You go right through him, and that's a pretty good shot by Pitlick. You're right, down on one knee, get it up and elevated. Alone and sauce it across. And Sogaard can't get across to squeeze the post off the side of his body and in for Pitlick.
So, Mike, not a power play goal officially, and it just expired, but still good for Montreal to get the setup going and get some offense going as well as the Sens look to strike. Giroux had to hesitate, tried to drop. Couldn't find Brandstrom in stride, as Brandstrom now has to hustle back as Richard. You know, I've said Anthony Richard's name a lot, Mike, tonight. He's having a good performance on the fourth line.
He can scoot. That's the one thing I've noticed. He can really skate.
Matheson gives it away. Slung across. Hetherington shoots. Rebound in front, and Brassard. A good look and a better save by Primo. The free kick loads up, and he just missed high. I think a stick might have gotten his lane. And DeBrincat a little frustrated. He goes after his man. A penalty's upcoming. As Montreal about to go in the penalty kill. Extra attacker out. Sokolov into the glove as you saw Sogaard was tracking towards the bench.
Everyone thought Ottawa's getting the penalty. Montreal.
3-1. Montreal leads. It's the preseason, Mike. We're all working it out here, even the fans.
Pinned under his arm. Good call by Eric Furlat, the veteran. That's a mid-season call for him because that was Goulet initiating the hold. I like that call, putting Goulet in the box. He read it correctly.
So DeBrincat, a goal in this hockey game for Ottawa. Another chance on the power play here for the Senators. And a good clean win. Back to Sanderson. Sanderson dishes. Pinto loads up, scores! What a rocket. Shane Pinto, power play goal. Senators within one.
Part of the reason Ottawa set their lineups like they did for the last couple games, they wanted this power play unit out there together to play together. And I guess this is why. Good feel. Drew a little bump back to Pinto, and he lets it fly. And finds the far side of the net. Another good job in front. You don't think of Derek Brassard as being a net front presence, but that's 2 goals for, and 2 goals where Brassard is parked on the lip of the crease. And that took all of 7 seconds for Ottawa to cash in on the power play.
Well, Mike, Shane Pinto's lone NHL goal versus the Montreal Canadiens. And I know it's the preseason, but that feels real good as his really strong camp with Ottawa continues. Great shot, power play goal, Sens within 1. Under 4 minutes to go here in this second period. As Jordan Harris on the puck, off the glass, down the ice. Back forward, Dylan Hetherington. Up the left side as Reinhart gives chase, Harris back. Harris on the puck, plays it for Drouin, off backhand pass, nobody there, except for Hetherington. Here's Pinto up the ice, he'll flip it in. Caden Primo wants to play it, leaves for Leskinen. So Sanderson, you hear, picking up an assist as well. Here's Leskinen at center ice for Montreal. He'll flip the backhand in. Hamonic there. Just out of the reach of Sanderson. Evans. Pitlick. Right in front. Shot Armia. Great stop. Sogard. As the Sens come in transition. Brassard will chip it in. Matthew Joseph. Trying to free it for Mott. Mott chips away. Joseph gets it. Looking for Mott. Nearly stole it, but a good job by Jake Evans, and the Habs are up ice. Yoel Armia up that left side. Zaitsev and Brandstrom back. Pitlick centering pass. It's the back of the net. Brandstrom on Evans. Evans frees it up for Matheson. Matheson puts on the brakes. Tries to spin away from trouble. Brassard meets him, but Matheson on the puck to the near boards. Yoel Armia. DeBrincat able to take it away. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this second period. It's been a fun preseason game, Mike.
Yeah, it's picked up here in the second period, that's for sure. I like the chances going back and forth, some skill plays.
Evans, at the end of a shift, he'll chip it in and head off for a change.
We've said it many times, the results don't really matter, but both teams want to get a win. Get some positivity feeling through their camp.
Little pop pass here as Ridley Gregg. I mean, 3 massive blocks in this game. It's got to earn the favor of your head coach and your teammates as well when you're paying the price. As Pezzetta gets to the puck first. Backhand try through the crease, but nobody there, and it's picked up and skated up ice by Reinhart. Reinhart still with it. He'll drop it off. Hetherington tried to get it through. Couldn't jam it in, but he finishes his check. Kaiden Guhle for Montreal. Former first-round pick on it. He goes through center ice. He'll backhand it in. He gets hit by Hetherington. Igor Sokolov up the left wing. He'll bring it in. Sokolov around the net. Final minute. Canadian Tire Center, second period. As Leskinen took him down, and Harvey Pinard had to hesitate. Couldn't bring the puck with him. He continues to work at center ice. Raphael Harvey Pinard, former Memorial Cup winner with the Huskies. He was the captain that year, the year that Nick Suzuki actually went. And Suzuki, by the way, getting closer to returning for Montreal.
Took off the non-contact jersey, had the full participant jersey on today. Step in the right direction for the newly minted captain of the Habs.
How about the Josh Anderson spider injury? The spider bite, his hands was swelling up.
Yeah, but now he's got the Halloween costume set for years.
Yeah, spider senses, the whole bit, right?
That's it.
They won't talk about that in the room at all, I'm sure.
Not at all. He's got a comic book in his locker for every day for the next 2 months.
Man, if I had to pick a superhero, Spider-Man's up there. I mean, Batman too. But Batman and Robin are taken. That's Slafkovsky and Machar, right? So
there you go.
You can't have them all.
Penalty here at the end of the period is going to go to Montreal. Brassard got clipped with a high stick late on a nothing play, but arm was in the air.
So a 3-2 score for the Montreal Canadiens. The Habs on the penalty kill when we start the third period. Intermission coming up right now with our Test of It All.
Thanks, Brian. We've got a full intermission for you. Alex DeBrincat doing his job. What we expect him to do. Score goals, continue to fill the net. As well, during our intermission, we're going to break down the problem that the Habs have on the back end. Just deep talent.
A new $5.99 King.
Thursday with another battle between the Habs and Senators. Catch the action at 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic in the Sens region on TSN. And then for the Habs, they'll be taking on the Leafs Monday, 7 Eastern, 8 Atlantic, right here on TSN in the Leafs region. 3-2 is the score through 2 periods of play. Alex DeBrincat opened the scoring for the Ottawa Senators. He is standing by with our very own Claire Hanna.
Alex, you were telling one of the preseason games here in a Senators uniform. How did it feel to get that goal?
Yeah, it feels great. First one out of the way. New team, it's tough to play. Find new guys, but I think we're playing pretty well out there.
A lot of emphasis has been put on all the weapons you guys have on your power play. How much confidence does it give your unit getting that goal, I think, 5 seconds into it?
Yeah, it's great. I think, we draw up a play off the face-off, and when it works, it makes us feel good. And obviously, that was a great shot, and a great play by G2. So I think we're moving it well, and we're hopefully score another one this period.
And I know Tim's missing from your line tonight, but just how much chemistry do you think you are building with Claude?
Yeah, a lot. I think we're kind of figuring out where each other are on the ice, and it's been fun to play with him, and excited to keep going with him.
Thanks, Alex.
Yeah, thank you.
As we welcome you back in studio, Tessa, Dave, Frankie's still with you. I mean, it's got to be fun for DeBrincat. You're playing against Claude Giroux. It can't be all that bad, am I right? But in all fairness, I'm going to call you out a little bit. At the beginning of the second period, you said to the guy that builds our packs, hey, in the intermission, can you make sure to put that DeBrincat goal on there? And he looked at you like, what? And you're like, it's coming. The both of you said it. Break down what makes this game so special, please.
It's just confidence in his shot. I mean, 270 shots last year, is 14th in the league. He wakes up in the morning shooting the puck. That's what he does. He gets 3 a game on net. They're going to go in, and he has confidence that they're going to win. But the nuances of exactly where he goes on the ice, he goes to slightly different areas. He can pass the puck very well, but his line mates will learn, and Claude Giroux is also, a new line mate for him, figuring out where does he go. He comes late on plays. He plays a little bit off the offside. He's up a little bit higher, maybe a little bit lower sometimes. So he's going to score goals. He's comfortable shooting the puck, and they'll get used to giving it to him in the right place.
And Pooley, the word chemistry gets thrown around a lot, especially when players are unfamiliar with each other. I like to say the word communication. These guys are going to be communicating before the game, during the game, after the game to get on the same page and make this stuff happen.
Well, I think of chemistry, I think of the danger of blowing up the chemistry lab. So it wasn't always smooth in the chemistry lab.
Speak for yourself. I actually was not. I was not a great student at all. Pitlick, let's talk about his goal. Sweet, sweet goal. Nice feed.
Great. And you know what? For Rem Pitlick, he's got a goal and an assist on the night. And this is a player who's going to get different opportunities in the preseason. And that's the cool thing. A guy who's in the bottom 6 is going to get power play opportunities, offensive zone opportunities. And how about this saucer pass? My goodness. And Rem Pitlick's going to bury it. But what this does for Pitlick is it kind of plants a little bit of a seed for Marty St. Louis as the season goes on. He says, well, you know what? If certain guys go down or if certain guys aren't able to play, maybe this is a guy who I can slot a little higher in the lineup. He's half a point per game the last couple of years in the NHL. That's really good for a bottom 6 forward who sometimes plays on the 4th line as well.
Big speed guy. He brings the speed every shift.
And that wasn't the only sweet goal in that period. Shane Pinto's power play goal. All of us were like, whoa, whoa. And we had said off the top of the show when we were just chatting, not on camera, we should actually have these cameras rolling. Just so to prove. Shane Pinto, what words came out of your mouth? You said future superstar. This kid knows how to play.
I think he's going to be a star player. I really do. He'll be in the 3rd hole in the middle, and he's had some injury issues, but this is a play, as they noted, that they drew up off the face-off. He plays the bumper position very well. Now, in this controversy in Ottawa about who's on the first power play, who's on the second power play, this is the, air quotes, second power play. But that doesn't mean it's the second power play. And he's the unheralded one of that entire group.
And you think about the group, like, we know Jake Sanderson has a huge ceiling. Same with Shane Pinto, and then you add Claude Giroux and Alex DeBrincat. Take your pick on who your net front guy is going to be on that unit. That is not your ordinary second power play unit. That's a unit that can contribute in a big way.
What a good problem to have.
It's a highbrow problem.
Am I right? I love good power plays. To be honest, power plays usually bug me, but good power plays, I don't mind watching them all day, every day. Pretty special moment here before the Jets game. Dale Hawerchuk had a nice ceremony and a statue reveal. We'll have that when we come back as well. As promised, we're going to break down the big problem the Habs have with their defense. They've got so many good ones coming up.
Did you have fun?
Touches down in Singapore tomorrow as drivers take the track and attempt to clinch a Singapore Grand Prix trophy. Catch Formula One superstar Max Verstappen in action as he looks to take home his second consecutive Drivers' World title. Tune in at 6:30 Eastern, 7:30 Atlantic, right here on TSN. And in Habs news, Nick Suzuki participated in his first full practice today. The hope is the new captain will be able to play in a preseason game or two next week. Dale Hawerchuk had a statue revealed prior to the Jets game. First period, Jets get an early chance as rookie Brad Lambert at the point shot in the slot. He's denied by Stuart Skinner. They're tied at 1s. Here's a look at other scores from around the league. These brought to you by FanDuel. Stars leading the Blues 2-0. The Caps and Blue Jackets still tied up at 1s. The Oilers and Jets also locked up at 1s. We're still waiting for the Canucks and Kraken to drop the puck at 9:30. And the Red Wings and Blackhawks are in action with no goals. As we welcome you back in studio, Tessa, Pooley, Frankie, still with you. We got to talk about the Montreal Canadiens and this issue that they have on the back end. They've got a lot of young talent coming up, which is a good problem to have. I mean, we talked about having 2 good power plays, which is a great problem to have. But if you are the Montreal Canadiens, who's catching your eye and who do you like? There's been a few guys. For me, Caden Gooley's been really impressive. I think we know about the physical presence that he has, but he's also a guy who plays really well with the puck. And Arbor Xhekaj, who's just such a dominant force. We saw him with the Hamilton Bulldogs throughout the playoffs in the Memorial Cup. You know, what a force he was. But there's going to be some openings on this Montreal blue line. You talk about who's going to play with Mike Matheson. Could it be someone like Justin Barron, the right-handed shot? And there's openings with Joel Edmondson out for the foreseeable future on David Savard's, I guess, partner flank. Who's going to play there? I mean, Corey Schoeneman and Chris Weidman are serviceable NHL defensemen who can play. But there's going to be some younger guys that are pushing for spots here, Pooley.
And they opened one up with trading Alexander Romanov. I mean, that was part of it. They knew they had these 4 kids coming. 3 of them are left shots. They've tried Jordan Harris on the right side, cerebral, smaller player. The size is up top with Caden Gooley and Arbor Xhekaj, who I do think is a real wild card. Something pretty cool the other night in Montreal. 4 different young defensemen got to run the power play from the #1 hole. So, you know what? Everybody got a shot, and that was so rare to see with young defensemen. So they've cleared space for them. They have to earn it, but they've cleared the space for them and said, okay, go figure out who can be a factor here.
Well, sorry, I think that's the biggest part is giving them the opportunity to actually go and prove themselves. It's one thing to say, oh, yeah, these kids are good and they're coming up, and then you just don't even give them a sniff.
Now, good pedigrees, too. You've got a first-rounder in Justin Barron who came over on the Lehkonen trade, first-rounder in Caden Gooley. I mean, these are kids that were thought of highly along the way.
And Caden Gooley was the Western Hockey League's playoff MVP last season. It's an interesting predicament because you're going to have young players who are eligible to go to the American Hockey League, and you can never do them wrong by sending them down there for a little more seasoning. I think oftentimes we see young defensemen make the jump to the NHL when they might not necessarily be ready for it full time. So when they're deciding who's going to go up here, I would say it could almost be a little bit of a rotating cast of guys who can clear waivers, come up, play for 2 weeks, go back down, you know, maybe so no one's put out of place and put in good positions to do well.
Yeah, and I think the partners are going to be big. David Savard will be a really good partner. Matheson will be a good partner. Joel Edmondson, when he's back and healthy, will be a real good partner for a young player. So
the future looks bright for the Montreal Canadiens on the back end, which most teams often have problems with, but not in Montreal. All right, when we come back, third period action and puck drop with Brian Mudryk and Mike Johnson.
Welcome back to our coverage on TSN, your second period scoring summary. Alex DeBrincat, great shot. He scores, Pitlick answers, and then Shane Pinto. And we have a 3-2 game. Montreal leading, ready to start the third. Of course, Montreal in the penalty kill to start this third period. Brian Mudryk, Mike Johnson with you, and of course Jake Evans, 2 goals, but we're focusing on other Jake Sanderson, who's played over 15 minutes thus far in the hockey game. What are you making out of this young blue liner?
Well, we talked about some of the stuff that makes him such an exceptional prospect for the Ottawa Senators, and we're looking for examples of where he uses those assets. Well, skating ability, he's very good at it. We've seen some times, whether it's on defense or on offense, the ability to close guys off, turn and skate with them, or get up the ice as well. Talked about his vision with the puck. I like this one. He's shooting that puck for a tip on purpose, making nice plays in the power play, picking up an assist. So you see a little bit of vision. You see a little bit of that fearlessness, making plays aggressively down the boards, but not just chipping it away, stopping up, trying to make a pass, create something, and then the confidence to do something with the puck. Take a hit and make a play, even if it's on your backhand. So we've seen little glimpses of some of the stuff that makes Jake Sanderson so good, but I'd say it's been a bit of a muted game out of him, like a little bit cautious. He hasn't unleashed the full package of skills that he has. Maybe we'll see a bit more in the third.
Well, he's starting the third on this power play as Claude Giroux on the puck. Ottawa Senators get it set up as Sanderson. He'll drop it off. There's Giroux near boards. He'll pick it up. Sanderson trying to get that pass across the brink, get a weak shot. And a good job by Montreal's defense as Jake Evans goes to work defensively. Brassard, though, digs it out. Sanderson, Giroux. Claude Giroux towards the net, looking for the tip from Brassard, and it's tipped out of play.
See, they're trying to work on this power play unit. So important for the second unit to be effective alongside the first. And Claude Giroux is going to play in his strong side because he's got DeBrincat as a right shot as well on the other side. And Giroux is a passer, facilitator, has been for his entire career. And so look for the puck to run through him on his strong side.
Another face-off win for Ottawa. Giroux drops it back. Sanderson shoots deflected up high. And again, handled by Caden Primo, expected to carry the load the whole game here for Montreal. Giroux, that pass off a stick. Good job by Yoel Armia. Picked up by Pinto. Weaving, a cross shot. Oh, what a stop as Primo had to look back. Another snipe from DeBrincat, but the young goalie had made the save.
That's the one they want. DeBrincat with a one-timer, so a couple of good chances again. The power starts with a face-off win, which Giroux is a really important part of, and this shot is meant to be tipped up high. Pinto gets a good piece of it. Primo with a good save. And then if you're going to press up high, you got to trust that Giroux can't make good passes. That's a bad assumption because he gets to the Pinto, who gets it to DeBrincat, who almost gets to the back of the net.
We should mention, too, that Antoine Bibeau is in net now to start this third period for the Ottawa Senators.
Let's hope he's stretching the intermission. Jumping out to kill a penalty right away.
So he'll play it back. The former Guy Lafleur Trophy winner is the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League MVP. Also won a Memorial Cup MVP as well.
I like his gear setup is nice, too.
As Pinto, the pass off his knee. And he might see some action here on a 2-on-1. Mitchell Stevens, wait, shoots, and he whistled that a few feet wide. Bibeau, the Victoriaville, Quebec native. So full changes here on both sides as just 28 seconds remaining in the minor penalty. Raphael Harvey-Pinard in the box. Caden Gooley trying to step up with the other 21, Joseph. Pass up top, Brandstrom, wrist shot, stopped again through traffic by Primo.
Gooley is not shy physically. Actually, he's feeling the effects of that attempted hit on Joseph. They both head into the box. A little worse for wear.
Harvey-Pinard on his skates, ready to come out of the box. One last push from Ottawa as that backhand from Mark Kastelik high and wide over the net. Battle right in front of the net. Spinning shot, Sokolov, and kicked aside by Primo, so that'll do it. As Harvey-Pinard out of the box, he's on the puck right now up that left side. Good job by Kastelik, frees the puck. Zaitsev through center ice, he'll dish it in. Goal Reinhardt. Harvey-Pinard, the chip in his own zone. Hoffman was looking to break in. As Hoffman parts of 7 seasons with the Ottawa Senators. Leskinen in his own zone to Mike Matheson up the right side. He'll stretch ice in for Drouin. And Drouin was tied up just enough from Hetherington from behind. Couldn't get a good look. Sens coming numbers. Ridley Gregg trying to stick handle in. He takes a shot. Matheson, pop pass off his skate. Gregg had it, and then Hoffman will bring it in offside.
Cade Gooley leaving on impact. We heard Frankie Corrado talk about him in the intermission, and get your head up. He is stepping up, and he gets the rounded dasher after he tries to get a piece of Matthew Joseph. Now, there's a reason why those dashers are around, because it softens the blow somewhat. Can you imagine if that was the square peg like it used to be? It'd be much worse.
Get through training camp, preseason healthy, Mike. I mean, that's every team's goal, every player's goal. You don't want to see anyone injured.
Priority number one, don't get hurt.
Good steal, Jesse Ylonen. Hesitates at the line, was trying to sneak it through for Meshar. Ylonen back on it, and he'll fire it in. You know, pretty cool for Slafkovsky and Meshar to go in the first round together from Slovakia. Roman Nemec, first time ever that three from that country have gone in the first round. So we mentioned him, Mike. Antoine Bibeau is now in net, getting an opportunity here. The 28-year-old getting a chance. He played in the AHL East Coast last season.
You see a lot of the familiar names circulating as American League goalies, depth guys. Bibeau's been around for a while. Kevin Poulin on the other side for Montreal is their backup. And Sogard got the first 2 periods. And I wonder if they just want to get Bibeau action. I mean, I think at this point, Sogard could probably play the 60 if he wanted to. Bibeau wants to get a little run here. You never know how. You hope you don't need to get that far down your depth chart if you're DJ Smith, but you'd like to know what you have.
Has 4 career NHL games, Mike. A couple with the Leafs, a couple with the Avalanche. As the Habs control off the draw. Mike Matheson at the line. Dishes for Armia. Kicks it to his stick. He backhands it around. Ottawa dominated, Mike, the faceoff circle. 79% in that second period. As Joseph had some runway. Stumbled with the puck, though he couldn't break in free. And just reaching back, that was Armia putting himself and his teammates in offside.
Joseph is going to be flustered right now because he was one poke away from getting a chance at a break. He knocked the puck out of the air and it was going to be in a foot race with some pretty speedy skaters chasing him, but overskated the puck and nothing came of it.
Did you like preseason, Mike? I mean, did you like that warm-up? No.
No.
Okay, fair.
No. I mean,
you didn't even think about that.
No, well, my rookie year I liked it because I think I got $300 a game, and I wasn't sure I was going to be in the NHL, so I liked the money. But no, I'd like to play 2 or 3 times, kind of just to get your rhythm going, and then get ready to play. Everyone shows up in shape, right? It's not about being in shape anymore. Everyone comes to camp ready to go. It's about timing, get your roll, and once you've been around the NHL a little bit, and if you've been on the same team for a little bit, then most veteran guys in 3 games, that's plenty. And that's why even these teams are playing 6, 7, 8 games, the top guys might only play 3 or 4 because they don't need any more than that. And I always like, Brian, the second week much better than the first because the first is so scrambly, the lineup is so disjointed. You don't know anyone on the other teams, you don't know anyone in your team. You're just trying to get through the games.
Zaitsev, Hoffman in a battle. Poke to center ice. There's Gouli on it. He'll send it across and look out. That's into the bench, I thought. But maybe not. Play continues.
Why I'm always hesitant, Brian, to make assessments on teams about based on the first week of training camp. Players maybe make individual judgments, but as a team, what we're seeing out here is not really reflective of what the teams will look like when they get down to their actual roster next week.
You know what Sens fans are excited for? That Tkachuk, Norris, Batherson line. So much chemistry.
Well, let's see him run the top 6. Let's get Splits out here with Giroux and DeBrincat and see what we got. I mean, that's all the excitement. Let's get them out here in the same game where it's hard to match up when they can throw that kind of talent. Then you throw Pinto out in the 3rd hole, and maybe you're on to something up front.
Lots to be excited about here in the nation's capital when you rattle off those names. As Thompson winds up in the tip. That was pretty close as Kastelik got a stick on it, but deflected it wide. Right idea as he parked his frame in front. Leskinen skated right by it, but Harvey Pinard is there, and he's using his wheels through center ice. Here comes Harvey Pinard. He'll dish to the right side. Pass across. Harris backhand try. Kicked aside by Bibeau. Philip Meshar. Battling some pop passes, though, and there's Sabrin. He'll settle it down back to his defenseman, Hamonic. Scott Sabrin fires it in. Here's Mike Matheson, coming off career highs last year in Pittsburgh in point production. Pezzetta, little give and go, try to flip it in for Philip Meshar. Pezzetta finishing his check, huge part of his game. Justin Barron back on it. Barron really talked about his time in Colorado before the trade and getting up close with Cale Makar and what he learned from Cale, even that brief time in Colorado.
A lot of guys in Colorado you could pull something from.
Yes, he was really happy to see the Avalanche win the cup. A lot of friends on that team, and he likes the game of Alex Pietrangelo, he told me. Does Barron try to mimic his game after Pietrangelo? A great player.
Rangy right shot defenseman, so he's got that going for him. A lot worse to try to play like Petro can.
Here's Pinto. Nice move. Center ice wrist shot. And that's handled by Primo, who will squeeze. Shots 28-15 in favor of the Sens, but they trail by 1.
Anniversary of the Summit Series in 1972, featuring Canada and the USSR. And Senators forward Mark Kastelik's grandfather, Pat Stapleton, was a defenseman for Canada. Now, sadly, he passed away in 2020, but I asked Kastelik if he shared any memories from that series, and he said his grandfather's basement was full of memorabilia, from old-fashioned iconic jerseys to a collection of sticks. He said he loved looking at Bobby Hull's stick. And he also said there's a rumor that his grandfather has, this is crazy, Paul Henderson's game-winning goal from that Summit Series. But the crazy part is that there's so many pucks in the basement, they don't know which one it is.
That's incredible, Claire. Thank you.
That's got to be worth a little something.
Oh, you think?
Thinking about the Aaron Judge home run ball. What's the Henderson puck worth?
Lots.
Plenty.
Caden Gooley. Oh, he takes a shove as the youngster gets the shimmy from the veteran Giroux. I love that. One-time drive, and that was stopped. And again, Brandstrom, what a game he is having. And Primo, a nice stop. Zaitsev gives it away at the line. Evans in, shoots. Chasing that hat-trick goal is Jake Evans. Evans back on the puck in his own zone. Nearly 8 minutes gone here in this third period. Brandstrom's been impressive. Hey, Mike, what a game he's had.
I mean, it's amazing to see how well he's played. If he can somehow find this kind of consistency, this game consistently, he'd be a top-flight guy for Ottawa.
Lassie Thompson on the puck at center ice. He'll send it across. Shane Pinto delivers, shoots it in. There's Matthew Joseph racing in on the board check, finishing his body check. Owen Beck sends it cross ice. In comes Hoffman. There's Hetherington to meet him. Hoffman freed it up, but a good job as Thompson was there and he sent it up the ice. Jordan Harris back on the puck for Montreal. Habs third rounder in 2018. There's Richard. Tried to chip and go around his man. That was broken up. Harris is on the puck for the Habs. There's Kastelik lurking on the forecheck, looking to get after it. He was the captain in Calgary, the WHL as well. Obviously, as Claire talked about, a lot of family roots in the game. His father, Ed, over 200 National Hockey League games. As that drive from distance, bodies in front, missed everything on Antoine Bibeau. Sanderson. Hamonic up the ice. As Reinhart or Sokolov. Sokolov. Good battle, protects the puck with Leskinen in front. Good feed as Sokolov hitting the trailer. Lassie Thompson. As Brassard turns it over, Mitchell Stevens at the end of a shift, so he'll head off for a change. He had Ylonen tracking in, but couldn't find him as Brandstrom will take it behind his goalie. Brandstrom hesitates, hits DeBrincat in stride. Alex DeBrincat with a goal in this contest. Over the line, it's Giroux. Giroux on the puck in the corner. Brassard behind the net, in front for DeBrincat. As he'll collect, still on the puck, DeBrincat, our boards. Gets it back. DeBrincat, as Giroux goes to the net. Backdoor pass, and he's trying to find Lassie Thompson again. Some space the other way. That break shot scores! scores! Oh, pocket the stick as Justin Barron buries one, and it's 4-2 Montreal. Lovely release from the young defenseman.
Alex Pietrangelo, you say? Well, okay. And Ottawa's got activating defense. They get caught up a little bit here. It turns into a bit of a 2-on-1 with a back checker, and Ransom tries to seal off Barron because he's got to wait for DeBrincat to take Mesar, and that's enough time for Barron to put this one past Bibeau on the blocker side. That's an excellent release, though. Not a big backswing. Doesn't take too long to get it off, but gets plenty of velocity. Montreal has been very opportunistic with 4 goals on their 16 shots.
Well, our panel talked about spots available as Joseph trying to wind up the speed. Good job, Armia closed him off. Spots available in Montreal on the back end. As Mott sends it across, scores! Lovely touch play, Matthew Joseph backdoor, and the Sens have life again within 1. It's 4-3.
Joseph's been around it, but it hasn't been clean. Neither is this one, as just a miscommunication there. As Guhle and the forward get tangled up. Mott jumps on it with his speed, slides it over, and off the skates of Joseph. Nothing wrong with that. That's not a kick. That's a redirect. That's legal. And this third line pounces again. Mott had a breakaway earlier, jumping on a loose puck. This time he creates a quick 2-on-1 and gets it over to Joseph to get Ottawa back within 1.
Those goals, Mike, 20 seconds apart. 9 minutes remaining. Jonathan Drouin over the line, lost the puck right to side set. As Wideman collects. Owen Beck takes the body check. Drouin behind the net. Tried that centering pass and gets pinned. Mike Hoffman. Back up top. Aiden Guhle, wrist shot. And that might have hit Drouin, went wide as Guhle with a goal in this preseason. Hoffman in the corner. On the puck, backhand feed, bouncing around in the slot. And Owen Beck is on it. Beck. It's Harris who jumps on. He takes a shot. Pass right in front. Hoffman gets taken down. And Ottawa the other way will chip it down the ice.
Harris just got Guhle stick right under his chin. Feeling that.
Jordan Harris up the right side. He'll flip it in towards Bibeau, who will play it. Harvey Pinard 1-on-2 in the corner. Richard, good job as he steals. Gave it away, and it's stretched up for Sokolov. Sokolov waiting for help. Kastelik comes in. And retrieved by Montreal. Jordan Harris will play it along the boards. Richard the chip. But no change because icing charge to Montreal.
Oh, good response by Ottawa, but if you're Montreal, you just want to be a little bit more careful with the puck there. It's Pitt that tries to touch the Guhle. They get tangled up, and a game that should almost have been over up 2 with 10 minutes left is right back in doubt. Joseph cashes in. And for a group of guys that are kind of going to play together, as it looks like Mott and Joseph and Pinto will, you love to see a little chemistry and production develop in the preseason.
Joseph signing that 4-year, $11.8 million extension. Great look at downtown Ottawa on this Saturday night. We got a close one. The Habs lead 4-3 right here on TSN Hockey. Habs line up for years. Carey Price, most wins and games played in Habs history. And his 700th career NHL regular season start, it was a win, and a big one. He only played 5 games last season. That was a win, 10-2. And if that is indeed the final game for Carey Price, he's got fans across the country, fans in the building tonight. We wish Carey the best, but man, if that is it, what a run he's had.
It almost felt like the team was desperate to get him at least one win last year as he tried to come back from his injuries. And I think the 2-year extension of Jake Allen, as if he needed much more indication, probably tells you where Carey's health is right now.
Never say never, obviously, but, you know,
he's tried a lot to get healthy. It's not like he hasn't tried just about everything there is to find a way to play again.
Here's Yoel Armia. Battling below the goal line. Good job. Hamonic freed it up right to his young defensive partner, Sanderson, who slings it up. DeBrincat a touch, but that's deflected out of play.
And so Montreal understands it's turning over a new team. No Carey Price, no Shea Weber. Marty St. Louis as the head guy with the full training camp to implement the way he wants his team to play. They're trying to lean on Suzuki and Cole Caulfield and Doc. Talked about all the young defensemen. So they're trying to turn their team over competitively while also not necessarily gutting their roster. They still have a lot of guys who have good contracts, build their careers playing for them.
And you saw Stefan Robidas behind the bench this year, of course.
Yeah.
Luke Richardson off to Chicago, so some fresh blood behind the bench as Stefan Robidas steps in there as well, new face.
I jumped in the Montreal coaching room before the game, and this thing I played against all these guys. Played with Marty, but played with Trevor Letowski at the Team Canada at a World Championship. So yeah, they got a mean-looking 4-on-4 team if they ever want to get a little game of shinny after one of the practices.
Full change for the Ottawa Senators. 6 minutes remaining here in this preseason contest on this Saturday night. Brian Mutrick, Mike Johnson, Claire Hanna, great to be with you. Great to be back in the booth. Great to interact with fans and other media from out of town. It's been awesome. And Sokolov. Little chip in the give and go, and he brings it in. Sokolov still on it. Wrist shot wide as he missed the mark. Kastelik lets it go to the far point. Hetherington shoots. Rebound available. Kastelik was digging, but Caden Primo finds that he'll hold as Primo trying to go the distance here and get the Montreal Canadiens their first win of the preseason as they lead by 1. Preseason action continues. Canadian Tire Senators hockey Tuesday, 7 Eastern from the Bell Center. Gordon Miller, Mike Johnson have you covered at 7 Eastern time. Available in both regions, which is awesome. As both these teams fine-tune, get ready for the upcoming season. DJ Smith, Marty St. Louis, a lot of decisions to make very soon.
Problem is, Brian, they're playing each other so many times. They played each other 4 times here to end training camp. That's the game tonight. That one went straight out. Mike Matheson will head to the box. Then they have the game on Tuesday, and then they have the 2 games out east. So
it's the North Division, Mike, all over again. All right.
Hey, listen, they put that COVID 12 games against each other behind us. So the power play, which already has gotten 1 for Ottawa, will go back to work. And such a moment where Claude Giroux and his face-off proficiency helps. He lost this one, but Matheson just sails it on the forward check. I think Brassard got a piece of that. Want to win a face-off, start with the puck.
And they do again. They've been great in the dot tonight. Brandstrom on it. Giroux down low, pop out, score! What a goal! Shane Pinto right in front. Power play goal. His second of the game on the power play. And Ottawa within 1.
Wow. A lot of attention has been made to the power play grouping. Well, this one looks like it's on the same page as well. Starts with a face-off win, but then Pinto slides in. If you're going to protect up high, then you move it down low. Claude Giroux understands. Where's the pressure coming from? Where do I have space? Don't force it through a seam. Brassard's right there, and that's a beautiful pass from Derek Brassard. Back to the net, knowing right where he wants to put it. Pinto for the one-timer. And he rings it off the post and in to tie the game late. And that's 2 power play goals from that unit that have taken maybe 16 seconds combined, both of them. Right off the face-off, set plays, but different plays, which you love to see for a new group.
So they come all the way back, a 4-4 tie. As I'm shaking off my preseason rust, it is 4-4, couple power play goals from Shane Pinto. And I mean, one thing that's evident, Pinto has had a heck of a preseason. Brandstrom having a heck of a game tonight.
Pinto can shoot it. Let's see how he gets that off quickly, which you have to have. You're going to play in the middle of the box. You're going to get rid of it in a hurry and accurately, and he has.
So Montreal once up by 2. Now a 4-4 game. And a great job by Ottawa as the power play is clicking, no doubt. Etherington will play it for Zaitsev. Around the boards, Aiden Gooley steps up. Oh, big collision, and that was a tough hit as Harvey Pinard was hit by Cole Reinhardt.
Yeah. It was just late enough that Harvey Pinard spun a bit to not make it so dangerous, but it was coming in from behind. A hit where you don't really need to make it. And you get the stick riding up in his back. And Harvey Pinard was able to avoid the worst of the collision, but that's going to be called more often than not. And so the power play was just evening up for Ottawa. Now is giving Montreal a chance to take the lead again.
So Mike Hoffman, some words for the youngster Owen Beck. He'll line up and take the draw against the veteran Tyler Mott. And Montreal controls. Shot of the Drouin. Down low. Beck pops it. And out of the reach of Hoffman. Matheson resets. Hoffman can't handle that. And Pinto's on the clock down the boards and down the ice. Under 4 minutes remaining. Can Montreal go ahead here one more time? Drouin, Hoffman, and into the Sens bench for a stoppage.
It's a tough play in the neutral zone there as Beck and Joseph have a little conversation, but Drouin gives that to Hoffman, who's in front of him, and he's going to be confronted by a defender right away. It's the timing wasn't quite right. Hoffman, and that's what Matheson's saying, you got to be deeper. Make that a square pass, like straight across. Don't be in front of Drouin because you're going to skate yourself into a check, which makes it much harder to get in the offensive zone. These are the things you're working on in training camp. Pretty good chops going on out here, this neutral zone face-off.
Joseph in. Again with the youngster back, and back a clean win. Montreal controls. Matheson. Hoffman back at the line, but Drouin, he was way in and offside charge.
So Owen Beck with the opportunity to play in front of two established offensive players of Hoffman and Drouin. He's been good. I think Beck's been solid. The line hasn't done so much, but I think Beck's been solid once again. Playing what would be the #1 center role in this game.
51 points in Mississauga in the OHL last season.
I look at his game and think he would light up Junior if he played there again. Looks like a big year out of him.
Here's Pitlick. He'll drop it off and go to the net. Played up top for Barron to Ylonen. Picked up by Meshar. Second power play unit out here for Montreal. Less than a minute to go in the man advantage. Yes, Ylonen. Curls around. He'll drop it back. Justin Barron, who has a goal in this game. Meshar across. Ylonen backdoor, and he whiffed on the shot as Armia engages. Yoel Armia trying to dig it free, and Pitlick comes in, a knee-on-knee hit. Has control, Barron. Here the fans' reaction, Pitlick, Barron. One-time drive, Ylonen, and a good block as Hamonic got down and blocked that. And just 24 seconds remaining in the minor penalty.
Ottawa centers have certainly been sacrificing the body blocking shots as Greg's had a few. This time it's Hamonic. Gets down, and the idea when you block that shot, you want to take the far side of the net of the way, which he did. Block it and get it up into the net so they can get a whistle and a change.
Kastelik back. Line up to take the draw as Kastelik wins it. Brandstrom along the boards, but not out. Held in by Hoffman for Beck. He takes contact from Brandstrom. Harvey Pinard dishes in front, wanted Drouin, and that was broken up. It's Kastelik away shorthanded, tries to flip it in. Up front there with his teammate Joseph, gets tripped up. And Primo to play it. Weird bounce behind the net as you can see the youngster out of the box, back to 5-on-5, so a good kill for Ottawa. Under 2 minutes remaining here at Canadian Tire Center on this Saturday night. DeBrincat, little flip pass, looking for Brassard. Evans took it away. Michael Pezzetta with Richard. Richard backhands it in. And it's Antoine Bibeau out to play. Bounces to center ice. Montreal on the puck. Slung to Pezzetta. Michael Pezzetta, the backhand in. Jake Sanderson to play it in the corner. Pinto in his skates. Pezzetta reaching for it. Popped around, and it's back to Gouli. Gouli for Richard. He tries to dance in. Richard tangled up. And Ottawa control. Sanderson, the long dish off the boards intended for Joseph. As Mitchell Stevens swats it away. Dumped in by Richard there at the end of a shift, so the fourth line will check on. Final minute, third period in a 4-4 game. Weaving in again, Brandstrom, who draws the penalty. His foot speed's been a difference in this game, and the Ottawa Senators to the man advantage late in the third.
Well, one of the stories been for Ottawa in this game, it's been Brandstrom skating with the puck, just being a dynamic presence from the back end. Well, here he goes again. Little hook into the hands as he goes down trying to control the puck. That's more of a can opener in the hands than it is a hook on the hip. And the power play. Power play was a big part of why this roster was put together in this game in this way. And they've scored 2 goals, and they're trying to get the game-winning goal here. 54 seconds, so finish the game out. They'd be in a 4-on-3 if they get to overtime and don't score in regulation.
And look who's out. No shock. Shane Pinto, 2 power play goals to the right side of Claude Giroux. Him and Jake Evans dig in. And the Senators dig out the puck. Brandstrom reaching for it. Comes free though to Matheson. He'll send it the length of the ice. Montreal Canadiens lost a heartbreaker this week to the Jets in the final stages on a shot by Nate Schmidt.
There's no such thing as a heartbreaker in exhibition.
Well, tell that to Evgeny Dadonov.
He's blocking a shot. Does he get credit for a block shot? Deflected it past Primo. But they'd like to get a win under their belts, that's for sure.
18 seconds left. Brandstrom drops it off. Claude Giroux through center ice. He'll bring it over the line. Shane Pinto. He'll dish it in. Fired along the boards. Good clear by Montreal. So overtime looming. As Antoine Bibeau out to settle it down. And that'll do it. So when overtime begins, 1:07 of power play time with Rem Pitlick still in the box as we're tied up at 4 through 60 minutes of play. Regulation over.
Pretty fun, Brian, for our preseason game.
It's been great, man. A lot of fun. I mean, great storylines, some good goals, the Ottawa power play clicking.
And it's always fun when you get in this building with some Montreal fans, some Ottawa fans. There's lots of goals to cheer about. Jake Evans got it going early on for Montreal on a 2-on-0 break, then a broken play. There's his 2 goals. Looked like Montreal was in good shape. But then DeBrincat, who was sniffing all around the net, gets his first of the game. Power play one time from Rem Pitlick, made it 3-1. Then Pinto on the power play go to work 3-2 on a nice little bump play. Before Barron on a wrister made it 4-2. Like, okay, Montreal's in good shape, but right after that, 20 seconds, Matthew Joseph makes it 4-3. And the power play late, Shane Pinto ties it at 4, gets us to overtime. Now, the question is, 4-on-3, you probably haven't worked on this, so now you want to try. Do they go with 4 forwards? Like, let's get 4 forwards out here for a 4-on-3. Oh, he's listening. Oh, no, he called him back. I thought Brassard was going to get out there, but no. Oh, he is. TJ Smith going to be aggressive. 4 forwards. As long as you win a face-off, which the 69% winning percentage for Coach Giroux will certainly help. Don't worry about defense. Don't worry about scoring a goal. They got plenty of time. 1:07. And look for them to try to find Pinto or DeBrincat. Now, both are right shots, so it probably ends up with, if they're going to play a 1-2-1, that probably puts Pinto down by the front of the net. You're going to want DeBrincat in the shooting position at all times. The Montreal counters with some experience in Evans and Matheson, and the youngster Gouli to kill it off.
Yeah, great to have Claude Giroux now as an Ottawa Senator. Remember, led Gatineau to that Memorial Cup win right across from the Ottawa River, and now he's a part of the Senator Nation. He's on the ice right now. Power play time, and we're underway. Can Ottawa complete the comeback? Here's Brassard. Setting up near boards, he'll drop it off to Brinket. Pinto. And there is the aforementioned Giroux. Waiting, Pinto. To Brinket. Drops for Claude Giroux to Brinket in space, waits. Curls around. Giroux towards the net, looking for the deflection from Brassard. Brassard in the corner. As Cooley engages in, Pinto swings for the puck. Abs desperate to clear, but Pinto finds it back up top. The Brinket wanted the one-timer, and they just couldn't connect. Giroux again. The Brinket, one-time shot, score! Alex DeBrincat, OT winner on the power play as the Sens get it done on home ice.
Well, you put 4 forwards out there, you get a power play in overtime. This is why you do it. The creativity and freelancing up top of Pinto, DeBrincat, and Giroux end up with the guy who you want shooting the puck. Derek Brassard plants himself in front. Apparently he's Thomas Holmstrom now in his career. And DeBrincat gets his second. What a night for the power play and the Ottawa Senators. Pinto with a couple. DeBrincat with his second of the game, first on the power play. The game winner in overtime on a one-timer from Giroux. DJ Smith could not have scripted it any better than that as Ottawa Senators get the 5-4 victory in a fun one.
Tough one for the Montreal Canadiens. They had a 2-goal cushion. And the Ottawa Senators storm back. Some great performances. Yeah, fans are excited, and why not? The new triggerman in town, Alex DeBrincat, a couple of goals. Power play looked rock solid. Shane Pinto scored. Claude Giroux, strong game. Eric Brandt turning on the Jets. Electricity on the ice as the future is looking very bright. Capital. Stand by. We have MLS coming up. We will join the pregame. Just getting underway. The MLS on TSN. In the meantime, we say goodnight from Ottawa. Thanks for watching our coverage on TSN MLS right now.
We need to do much better.